Hello, and welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for finding my channel on the amazing amount of channels on YouTube. Welcome to Pen Talk. As I explore the amazing, incredible, mind-boggling wide world of pens, and we see before you a wooden box. Mr. Sizemore says, I've checked it out. Go ahead and do the review. So we will. It has a nice reflective logo there. It's a Vazir pen. It's not a package we've seen before. Unfinished wood box. Yeah, I might throw some varnish on it, maybe a little stain, but that's for another day. The lid just pops off, and we see the pen in a nice foam tray. And the first thing you're impressed with is interesting color combination. Did they Frankenize the pen? It's also good size, which most Vazir pens are. It's a nice finish. Nice, classically designed, very functional clip. Very springy. There does not appear to be a cap finial that is inserted into a slot in the cap. We'll check that out later with the LED. But overall, it's a very classic fat cigar shaped pen. I thought the pen was worthy of turntable treatment. I think it really shows off that shine. It also gives you some perspective of the way those colors work together from different angles. Enjoy. So in keeping with my let's use a different ink approach, here's an ink I haven't used before in this really nice small bottle. I got 6 of these at one time. I gave away the Compeki one because I have that in a big bottle. This is definitely on the orange-red side. I would say probably more in the orange family. Chromatography is pretty boring. Some red and some yellow, which my guess is makes orange, and no water resistance whatsoever. There's a little preview of the writing. I like it, and it works well with this Iroshizuku ink. We'll do a more full writing sample a little bit later on. It's a little teaser to wet your whistle. In the hand, the weight of the pen relative to the size is on the light side. It's not extremely light, but you just kind of like expect more weight in a pen of this size. So right away, people who like a larger pen but don't like the weight of many larger pens, this might hit a sweet spot. The cap comes off with dun-dun-dun, a little over 2 turns, and we see a very nice section, same color as the barrel, and a Vazir broad stainless steel nib with just a regular injection molded plastic feed, which I expect will work quite well. Interesting angle at that bottom of the cap. I think it just adds a little of design element pizzazz to this. And I do like the color combination. Here's what they look like on the website. And there are some other different colors for those that may not like the black and coral combo of this one. As one might expect in a cartridge converter, the section just unscrews and we see just a standard converter, nothing special. It's your standard screw converter. Thankfully, nothing inside of there that I need to remove. So I think I can find a suitable ink for this pen, ink it up, and see how that broad nib writes. I've darkened the room as much as I can, so we'll bring in the LED to play on the cap, and we'll look on the inside. A lot of threads, and we'll see there's a machine ledge in there, and it looks like it's fairly well sealed up. Small area there for the nib to be in, so I think this will keep that nib wet for quite a while. Good design. As with the other Vazir pens, it's just an unscrew nib assembly, which makes it nice so you can swap nibs easily or pull the nib. And also the design that I like is where that converter fits very snugly into the back of that nib assembly. Kudos. And you may have said that nib assembly looks familiar, and yes, it does. It's very similar to a Bach. The threading is the same, and we can take this Bach titanium nib and screw it into the Vazir section. It's not a perfect fit, but it would work. And obviously, the way that end of that nib assembly is designed, it fits this standard converter very nicely. So you have an infinite variety of, well, not infinite, but a fairly large variety of Bach nibs that you could easily swap in and out by just unscrewing and screwing in the nib unit. Well, the fit and finish is very nice. I hadn't seen a seam, but yes, there is a cap finial that unscrews. So if you needed to do any work on the clip, it's easy to do. And it's threaded in very nicely. But as you can see, as you tighten it down, it pretty much disappears. Nice. Have we seen with my other Vazirs, they make a big pen. Here's the first one that I got. The Vazir flat blacktop, the longest of these four. Second one I got was the Juno in great yellow color. And here's the Coral, their new design. And just for a reference point, here's the M800. And in this group of pens, it certainly is the smallest of the four. Not easy to do. Posted, these pens are quite large. They all post relatively well. I wouldn't say they're great posters, but they can be posted if you would like. So these are all about number 6 size nibs. Well, they are number 6 size nibs. Vazir brands them, and I got 3 broads, and I'm very happy with them. Here we can see the sections, and Vazir is pretty consistent in their section design, which I think works well. The Coral one is the longest of this group. As you can see how it compares to the M800, which is a much shorter section, more vintage style. But in all of these, the threads are easy to deal with. There is a step up here on the Vazir as the cap and barrel meet, but that step up is a far distance away from the end of the nib. But if you need to hold it there, you could. It doesn't bother me. So now we've come to the editorial portion of the review. So this pen was sent to me by Vazir. I'm very happy with our working relationship. They like me to review their pens, so they send them to me, and I put together a review for you, the viewer. When I first picked up this pen, it just didn't wow me. It wasn't a pen I expected from a design viewpoint. It's certainly a little bit different, but yet still keeping within the basic design criteria that Vazir does, a big plastic pen. The fact that it was a little bit lighter than I expected from the size, it's something, a design that you need to like. It's different enough to not fit into any particular genre. You know, these contrasting colors are sometimes a popular theme in some pens and others not. But after spending a week with this pen, I like it. But I'm easy to please. And obviously, writing with it is one of the main features that I very much enjoy with this pen, especially with the ink that's in it. So we haven't gone through much of the technical details. A little bit too many turns for the cap, but I could live with that. So we'll give you the pen dimensions. It fits extremely well in the hand without posting. And it's not a great poster, and it's a long pen when posted, but the cap is very light, so it doesn't really change the writing experience that much by posting. I like that section. We'll give you the dimensions of the section. I mean, all of the Vazirs I have are great writers. They've been inked up since the day I got them, and I expect this one will be similar. And I appreciate Vazir doing something a little bit different in the design criteria, but still sticking with their fundamentals. So, you know, many pen companies try something much different, and it's more of an acquired taste. And this pen took a little bit of time, but it has grown on me, and I do enjoy it. So let's put that nib on paper again, and let's give the pen a rating. As I mentioned, I just really enjoy these broad nibs from Vazir. I'm going to give it a 9.3. Obviously, the nib gets one check. Consistently good writer, great flow. I've never had any Vazir pens skip on me or dry out on me, so kudos for that. And that's really one of the main attributes of a great pen. I would love to give it a check for the design, but that hasn't grown on me as much as it could. I certainly like it more than I did initially, but still not quite there. It does get one check for fit, finish, ergonomics. It just feels good in the hand. You can hold it anywhere. So that's the rating. I just wanted to throw in something real quick. There's another red ink from Iroshizuku Mojito, and let me compare that to this. So this is a TWSBI Eco. It's been inked up for years since I got it, never dried out, always writes great. So this is the Mojito, which is definitely a more classic red color. And this is a medium nib. Very smooth, very nice writer. When I want a pen with a red ink, I reach for this one. I think we need to just put these side by side. It's very easy to see the difference between a medium and a broad. It's almost a good 60-70% wider, almost close to double. And this nib feels much better on the paper than the TWSBI medium nib. Not that there's anything really wrong with the TWSBI medium nib, but this is just so much nicer. So when you go back to back with pens, with a lot of times when you're reviewing things, whiskey, beer, coffee, cigars, or whatever, when you're going back and forth, you get a much better perspective than just reviewing one particular item and not having that instant comparison in your hand. That's what's fun about having a lot of pens. We've reached the end of this video. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I try to do something a little different now and then, and you know, it's great that I have pens like this to show you. Hope this video finds you all safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying your pens, putting some ink on paper, maybe some colorful ink like this is. We've reached the end, and it's also the end of the page, so we're going to have to say bye over here. More videos in 2022 to come. Stay tuned.